Now, today on this class, we have learned about active voice to passive voice. This is the grammar class, how to convert active voice to passive voice sentences. Just go through the rules and regulations of active voice to passive. Let's get started. Remembering what we have already learned. Active and passive. The action, subject and object. In the active sentence, we have seen three important words. One is subject, action and object. Action means it will be a verb. In the passive form, the same, the places will be replaced. Object, action, subject. So this is the rule what we have to observe. Next we have going to learn the example of active to passive voice. The first example is Mayank repaired my car. This is the active sentence what we are seeing. The passive sentence is my car was repaired by Mayank. Here the subject is a Mayank, the my car is a object, repaired is a action. Usually in the active sentence the subjects always come first, but in the passive sentence my car it will be a subject, repaired it will be action, Mayank it will be a object. Usually we are not using passive sentence. Only we are using active sentences. Most of the time we are using active sentence. Then we have to move for the how to convert active voice to passive voice. There are important 5 steps. 5 steps are there. The first one is identify. What we can identify? We identify subject, object and verb. Second one is swap. What you want to swap? Subject to object, object to subject. The third one is convert verb form to verb 3. The fourth one is add helping verb before main verb. Fifth one is add preposition before subject. These are all the 5 important steps to learn active voice to passive voice. While changing subject, which is pronoun to object, I it will be me, he it will be him, she it will be her, we it will be us, they it will be them. Add a proper helping verb of to be before main verb. Main verb write, it will be in the chart, it will be displaying. The tenses, active voice, passive voice, simple present. In the simple present tense, the helping verb of to be is write or writes. In the passive voice, is, am or written. In the present continuous tense, the active voice verb of to be is or am or writing. Here in the passive voice, is, am or being written. In the present perfect tense, active voice is have written. In the passive form, have been written. In the simple past, wrote. In the passive voice, was, were written. The past continuous tense, were writing. Passive voice were being written. In the past perfect tense, had written. In the passive voice, had been written. In the simple future tense, the active voice is will write. In the passive voice is will be written. The future perfect tense, the active voice is will have written. In the passive voice, will have been written. This is the chart you should carefully observe and learn. Add a proper helping verb to be passive voice. Then important thing is we don't use four tenses while converting from active to passive. Present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future continuous, future perfect continuous. Let's go one by one and learn how you have to convert active to passive. The first one is simple present tense. Active sentence is he writes a letter. First step, identify the subject, verb and object. Second step is swap the subject to object. The third step is V form, means verb form to verb 3 form. Add helping verb. The fifth one is add preposition. When you have to follow these 5 steps, the sentence are like this. Active sentence is he writes a letter. But when you have to convert into passive, a letter is written by him. The exact sentence comes from like this. You don't make any mistake for using these 5 important steps. The next example is simple present continuous tense. The active sentence is Javed is making a cake. First step, identify subject, verb and object. Second step is swap the subject to object. Javed comes last, a cake comes first. Third one, convert to V form to V3. Add helping verb. Fifth one is add preposition. Now the sentence is a cake is being made by Javed. The exact passive sentence. The next example, present perfect continuous. Present perfect tense. Active sentence is I have eaten a burger. Here identify subject, verb and object. Passive sentence's second step is swap the subject to object. Third step is add V3 form. Fourth one is add helping verb has been. The fifth one is add by and the sentence is ready. Next example is simple past tense. He bought a car. First identify the subject, verb and object. Swap the subject to object. Add V3 form for the sentence. Fourth step is add helping verb. The fifth one, add preposition for the before the subject. A car was bought by him. Let's go for the next example, past continuous tense. Here the sentence is Sarah was singing a song. The first one is subject identification, verb and object. Swap subject to object. The third one, V3 form, convert V3 form. Fourth one, add helping verb. Fifth one is add preposition. Now the passive sentence is a song was being sung by Sarah. Next example, past perfect tense. The active sentence is Jai had finished homework. Identify the subject, verb and object. Swap the subject to object. The third one, you should convert V1 to V3 form. Add helping verb. Add preposition for the sentence. The sentence will be ready. The passive sentence is homework had been finished by Jai. The next example is simple future tense. Active sentence is she will accept the offer. Here identify the subject, verb and object. Swap subject to object. The third step is V1 form to V3 form. And fourth one is add helping verb and add preposition. So this is the sentence of passive. The offer will be accepted by her. So these are all the future perfect tense. Example is I will have charged the battery. Here identification of the subject, verb and object. Next swap the subject to object and add V3 form and add helping verb form and add preposition form of the sentence. So now the sentence will be ready. The battery will have been charged by me. Here this table is very helpful for you. When you have to learn, it is very easy to do active to passive voice. Not only for this chart, you should remember the 5 steps how to convert active to passive. The first one is identify subject, object and verb. Second one is swap subject to object. Third one is convert V form. V form means verb form to V3 form. Fourth one is helping verb before main verb. And fifth one is add preposition before S. S means subject. Now, today on this class, we have learned about active voice to passive voice. This is the grammar class, how to convert active voice to passive voice sentences. Just go through the rules and regulations of active voice to passive